Kilalanin natin ang official and updated complete pool lineup ng Junior All-Star para sa nalalapit na 2026 PBA All-Star. Point guards, Adrian Nukum, team captain, 38,710 votes, 6 feet, 167 pounds, 26 years old, 14.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 1.5 steals, 21% 3-point shooter, 58% free throw shooter ni PBA 50 at Philippine Cup averages. Fran Yu, 23,602 votes, 5'9", 154 pounds, 27 years old, 8.8 points, 2.3 rebounds, 6.2 assists, 1.3 steals, 34% 3-point shooter, 79% free throw shooter ni PBA 50 at Philippine Cup averages. MJ Garcia, 11,824 votes, 6 feet, 175 pounds, 26 years old, 6 points, 1.8 rebounds, 2.2 assists, 0.8 steals, 33% 3-point shooter, 91% free throw shooter ni PBA 50 at Philippine Cup averages. Shooting guards, Richie Rivero, 38,020 votes, 6'1", 198 pounds, 27 years old, 16 points, 5.6 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 0.6 steals, 34% 3-point shooter, 68% free throw shooter ni PBA 50 at Philippine Cup averages. Kim Orin, 25,142 votes, 6'1", 190 pounds, 28 years old, 3.4 points, 1.3 rebounds, 0.4 assists, 0.5 steals, 38% 3-point shooter, and his PBA 50 at Philippine Cup averages. Shani Winston, 21,412 votes, 6'4", 190 pounds, 27 years old, 11.8 points, 3.1 rebounds, 2.2 assists, 0.8 steals, 23% 3-point shooter, 81% free throw shooter ni PBA 50 at Philippine Cup averages. Dominic Fajardo, 12,088 votes, 6 feet, 220 pounds, 32 years old, 5.6 points, 4 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 1 steal, 62 field goal percentage, 46% free throw shooter ni PBA 50 at Philippine Cup averages. Small forwards, Stephen Holt, 35,584 votes, 6'4", 195 pounds, 34 years old, 14.2 points, 6.3 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1.3 steals, 30% 3-point shooter, 80% free throw shooter ni PBA 50 at Philippine Cup averages. Ken Taffin, 22,576 votes, 6'4", 195 pounds, 28 years old, 8.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 0.3 steals, 31% 3-point shooter, 60% free throw shooter ni PBA 50 at Commissioner's Cup averages. King Caralipio, 13,376 votes, 6'2", 176 pounds, 27 years old, 2 points, 1.7 rebounds, 0.2 assists, 25% 3-point shooter, 9.6 minutes per game in his PBA 50 at Philippine Cup averages. James Kwekote, 12,176 votes, 6'2", 182 pounds, 27 years old, 2.9 points, 1.3 rebounds, 0.5 assists, 0.5 steals, 36% 3-point shooter, 50% free throw shooter ni PBA 50 at Philippine Cup averages. Power forward, Xavier Lucero, 35,120 votes, 6'6", 205 pounds, 26 years old, 17.1 points, 10.1 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.1 steals, 2 blocks, 28% 3-point shooter, 68% free throw shooter ni PBA 50 at Philippine Cup averages. Ralph Koo, 27,806 votes, 6'4", 210 pounds, 28 years old, 3.1 points, 2.1 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 0.3 steals, 34% 3-point shooter, 11.6 minutes per game in his PBA 50 at Philippine Cup averages. Christian David, 25,852 votes. 6'6", 215 pounds. 27 years old. 12.5 points. 7 rebounds. 1.5 assists. 1.1 steals. 25% 3-point shooter. 79% free throw shooter in his PBA 50 at Philippine Cup averages. JB Bahio, 18,160 votes. 6'5", 200 pounds. 27 years old. 13.3 points. 8.2 rebounds. 2.2 assists. 0.8 blocks. 54 field goal percentage. 68% 3-point shooter in his PBA 50 at Philippine Cup averages. Brian Santos, 11,698 votes. 6'5", 209 pounds. 28 years old. 6.5 points. 5.1 rebounds. 1.1 assists. 0.7 blocks. 32% 3-point shooter. 71% free throw shooter in his PBA 50 at Philippine Cup averages. Centers, Brandon Bates, 28,008 votes, 6'8", 231 pounds, 28 years old, 5.2 points, 7.5 rebounds, 0.4 assists, 1.3 blocks, 54 field goal percentage, 43% free throw shooter in his PBA 50 at Philippine Cup averages. Cade Flores, 20,370 votes, 6'5", 214 pounds, 27 years old, 7 points, 5.7 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 1.4 steals, 33% 3-point shooter, 70% free throw shooter in his PBA 50 at Philippine Cup averages. Henry Galinato, 17,828 votes, 6'6", 245 pounds, 28 years old, 8.2 points, 6.3 rebounds, 0.7 assists, 1.1 blocks, 67 field goal percentage, 60% free throw shooter in his PBA 50 at Philippine Cup averages. Kemar Carino, 13,190 votes, 6'9", 203 pounds, 28 years old, 7 points, 4 rebounds, 0.3 assists, 1.2 blocks, 36% 3-point shooter, 100% free throw shooter in his PBA 49 Commissioner's Cup averages. Ito ang official and updated complete full lineup ng Junior All-Star para sa nalalapit na 2026 PBA All-Star. Sa tingin mga kabubbles, sino-sino ang mga deserving mapasama sa final 12-man lineup ng Junior All-Star? I-comment nyo na po yan sa baba.